Just getting set up for episode 8 of Chat Shit Get Baked, where we'll be joined by the owner of Kumite, Malachi. Kumite have been very good to me. Obviously, one half of the tag team champions alongside Brett Semtex, his British top team. This Sunday, Kumite have their last show of the year. I suggest everyone buys a ticket to that and heads to that. If you haven't already, it's going to be a great show. I want to thank the sponsors for this episode. One Breezy. Want to check out his channel. Has various interviews from all sorts of stars in the wrestling world. We've got Nigel McGuinness, Josh Barnett, and Brian Alvarez, just to name a few. And I'm on the push for 1,000 subscribers. I woke up today and I had just over 900. I think I'm on like 905 or something. So keep smashing that subscribe button, smash that like button, and all the support, especially the last few days, has been massively appreciated. I've really felt the love. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for episode 8 of Chat Shit Get Baked, and we are joined by another very special guest today, Kumite owner, Malachi. Welcome in. Right, so when I was planning the questions for this, I realised I've actually known you a lot longer than I thought. It was from before Kumite. I think it was around the time when BWR and Rise did that crossover a few years ago. But we'll get to that anyway in a minute. But I just want to know, what was your start in the business? How did you get started as a promoter? Were you a wrestler to start with? Were you a manager? How did you get into the business?
Well, I started out. My start was in bands in like punk DIY stuff. Yeah. So the stuff I was doing, basically, we were running our own label. We were putting out 7 inches. And a lot of doing all the press and stuff and all the social media wasn't really a thing when we were doing it.
Yeah.
But it's doing the equivalent of. So it's all really sort of transferable skills to what we do now. So yeah, I did that for years. Did that for fucking years. And that sort of like wound down. And about 10 years ago, me and Fletch started going to like local shows. I met Fletch. Fletch. We were watching.
So you met him at like music shows in the local area.
Well, no, we used to work in the same pub, but at different times.
All right.
And I actually met him watching WrestleMania at another mate's house. This is like fucking years and years ago. Yeah. So, and when I sort of, I stopped doing the music, and me and Fletch used to do a comedy podcast, which is basically what evolved into Kumate. And about 10 years ago, it's like this year coming up is the 10th year since I've been involved in wrestling. We started going to like local shows, Hope Wrestling. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They were mad. It was. We used to love it because it was at like the Polish club in Derby, which is just this tiny little like working men's club. But they had like every show had somebody nuts on it. Like Bram was always on the show, or like someone from like WWE.
Like the likes of like Alton Thorne and Franco wrestle for those guys.
Well, that's where I met Alton Thorne. Franco wasn't around just yet. Yeah, Franco's not been doing it as long. Yeah.
Right.
But he's from that sort of like from House of Pain in Nottingham. So yeah, I started doing sort of local shows, but I sort of joined up doing. I started as a manager, but then because I'm good at talking, I stepped in as the ring announcer, and then as the commentator, and then from there, I started at Fight Factory in Lincoln, and then from there.
Nice. Did you start that, or did you just work for them?
Oh no, I was there. I worked for them for probably about 2 years, pretty solidly, and that was wicked. But that's where I met like Will Cruz and stuff like that, and Jack Bennett's from Fight Factory. But then that led me to BWR, and as you said, they had a storyline with Rise.
I think that's when I met you when we were doing the BWR Rise invasion angle and stuff.
Yeah, it would have been. So that's a long time ago now as well. That's nuts.
Yeah, I was thinking about it when I was making my notes and stuff. I was like, fucking hell, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, so so by then I was just pretty much doing over 18 stuff, and I'd sort of I got massively fed up with traveling all the time. And some of the shows I was doing were amazing. And it was like there was no real grey area. They were either shockingly bad or fucking amazing. So I sort of yeah, as I was sort of like thinking I wanted to sort of wind down, that was when this stuff with Rise sort of happened, and then I sort of got my second wind again then, and met all you guys, and it was more, I don't know, for me it was more of it was very much a social thing as well, getting to hang out and get to meet.
I look forward to it on a weekend and stuff, right? Like
So that was it. Yeah, I got to obviously I got to the point where I was self-aware enough to realise that I wasn't going to be doing it for a career anymore, but to do the ones that I wanted to do, at least make it worth doing. Do you know what I mean? So so yeah, I really enjoyed doing Rise and stuff like that. And then pretty much after that, COVID happened. So after the run at Rise, and then everything obviously went to shit and went a bit quiet. And me and Fletch decided we were going to start a show. The first one was because, like I said, we used to do a podcast, and before COVID, we actually got license for a couple of movies. We were going to start screening films because my partner at the time was managing a venue in town. It was like a sort of a hipster burgery sort of thing. So they had space and they said we could use it to show movies there. And we actually got the license for a couple of movies, and that all got cancelled because of COVID. So over COVID, we decided we were going to we wanted to do something else. And the original thing we did was a gig with just like one deathmatch at it with Joe and Darko and Alton Thorne.
Was it a no ring show, the first one you did? Like a gig?
Yeah, the first two were no ring. Yeah, so the first one, and it was at Pop World. And it's
Pop World. I remember this. Pop World is fucking amazing. It's terrible, but you end up there like.
It was and it was fucking nuts.
Get a Pop World. I've never ever heard of a Pop World doing a wrestling show. But like this.
I mean, I know. I mean,
it could be like the new Hooters.
They do run shows like normal wrestling shows there now for like a local company, but I think, to be honest, I mean, we explained to them, we literally told them what it was we were going to do, and we were quite surprised, to be honest, because we're like, it's wrestling, and they're like, yeah, okay, but it's like, when it's hardcore wrestling, we don't use a ring, and they're like, yeah, fine, and it's just, I had some videos of like,
they're like, we're okay with it.
Yeah, they were fine. Until we started.
That sounds about to say. I was like, they were fine until it seemed like the first light tube get smashed over someone's head.
Well, it wasn't even that. I mean, it wasn't even that. They the first, like, because it was a three-way. The first like proper.
What was the match? Was it Alton, Joe, and Dargo?
Yeah, Alton, Joe, and Darko for it was the first Death Wolf match. And the first sort of spot with weapons was Alton on his knees in the dance floor, and the other two just like thrashing him with kendo sticks. And the manager was there, and he looked round to Alison, our medic, and he was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" And she was like, "Are you joking? We've literally not even started yet."
This is Tim.
And then,
so he was kendo sticks.
Yeah. And by the end of it, we were like pushing shopping trolleys around and. Like, it was mad, but they basically fucking hoofed us out the back door, and like,
no more.
They just basically hoofed us out the back door as soon as we'd cleaned up, and like never contacted us ever again. But it was mad. That was the one where Joe had he had a match with Clint in the afternoon beforehand, and basically took his knee off.
Was it a double header? Was it two? Was it a double show?
It was for Joe, yeah. It was
he just did a double, like, he did a show.
Yeah, he did it for TNT. It was that documentary he did with Danny a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah, was it like 3 matches in a weekend, or 3 matches in 2 days?
Yeah, he did like TNT and like Big Top. But yeah, the TNT match was like the same day, and he basically like, he did something to his knee, and it was pretty bad. So he was like,
covered in blood, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was nuts looking back on it. And he turned up and he got a bag out of the car that he thought had all of his stuff in it, but it turned out it was like a load of books for his kids for school. He couldn't find the venue. Yeah, and he was like walking around Derby with it like covered in blood, when he like his knee like
Oh,
gushing,
he's
like
like a big
fucking
boy as well. So when he bleeds, he's got
yeah.
like big old
And he's
legs.
in
It's
his
always his legs that get gashed. And
yeah.
it must
It
have
was,
been some sight with a big shopping bag of kids' books.
yeah, and he was in his pants as well. Bear in mind, he was in his gimmick, so he was in his pants and his shirt covered in blood from the match in Liverpool, and his like shoes and socks. But he also, it was when he had that big machete, so he had a machete on a chain around his
Oh
neck,
yeah,
and he was
I remember he was after lockdown, the first Rise show. Me and Joe did a match, and he come out as New Jack, and he had the big machete.
yeah, it was that. So he was wondering, he couldn't find the venue, so he was wandering around Derby
All
trying to find the
sign-ups.
venue. Oh
Did they
man!
get that
And
on the
then somebody,
documentary?
yeah, it's all on the documentary. It's
Yeah.
all on the
Oh yeah.
DVD.
Where can people
um,
watch that if they haven't seen it? Is it online or anything?
yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, it's on. I think it's on the
Is it on
Deathmatch
IWTV?
Outlaws. Yeah, it's definitely on IWTV on Deathmatch Outlaws. It's on our DVDs,
Yeah.
and I think it might be on their YouTube as well. But it's definitely
All
about
right.
somewhere. But
I'll
yeah,
find that and
it's
find the links and plug it.
it was mad. That whole sort of, but that's kind of what we wanted with the first experience of Kumite. It was just like in and out, and people were like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was just like
And that
one match in bands to start with, yeah. Right.
yeah, there was a band, and there was two matches, but there was two guys that we do.
Match you had? Was it another death match or was it a?
No, it's two guys that we know who do comedy stuff. It was Flex Buffington and and Johnny Concrete. Basically, just like
fair enough. So that a comedy match.
Yeah, just mucking about, and then a band that we knew, and then
for that type of show though, it's like a good mix that with your band, and you got a comedy match to start with, and then like a big fucking death match, or like a little taste of like starting a company. I think that's great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we did.
So, go on. What you say? Sorry.
And then we did another no ring one, which was at like a pub round the corner, and that one's actually on our. Yeah, on IWTV, Cold November Pain, and that was fucking nuts, bordering on well, it's bordering on irresponsible. Do you know what I mean? It was mad. It was again, it was just a mad experience. We had two matches on that. Well, no, we had three.
On that card?
We had Antonio Gonzalez answering an open challenge to Big Papa Goose.
Nice. Who's Big Papa Goose?
He's like a local guy that used to. I'm not sure if he wrestled.
Legends, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he
death matches or anything, or was it just like a normal match?
It was just like a hardcore match. They did like a couple of like chair spots, and it ended with a door.
Big Papa Goose.
Yeah.
Get him back.
And then we had Tomby and Alton Thorne in a coffin match. But in like in a coffin, in like a tiny, like honestly, mate. I mean, look at it on the IWTV. It's the Cold November Pain, and it's nuts. But it was a coffin match with those two, and it's just like close quarters. It was mad. And the other match.
Since then? Have you reused?
No, we used a coffin in a match that you were in a four-way.
Oh, and a four-way.
Yeah, and Clint threw Tomby into it, and it's that. Yeah, or was it Tomby threw Clint into it? Yeah.
I've got a funny.
And then the other match,
the coffin match. Just I'll quickly say this. So CXW have a guy called Damien, and he's the he's basically the coffin match specialist. And every single show, he has a coffin match. So obviously, like CXW bought this coffin, and they're really getting the money's worth out of it. Every show, there's a coffin match. It's fucking insane. I was involved in a part where I had to like help Tim win and like roll the coffin out. You couldn't move it. It was massive, especially with him in it. So coffin matches are good every few shows, but not every single show.
Oh yeah,
sorry about that. What were you saying there? You were saying about the port.
Oh, the other match. The other match was. It was in the match with you. That was at Vines when we had another coffin. But the other match that we had at that show was Joe and Tyler Devlin, who used to be from BWR, and it was to it was for the Death Wolf and the Rise Hardcore Champion, like title for title. It was when it was. I think it was like one of the last runs of before it changed to the deathmatch title. But and that was mad as well.
Did they have like one belt each there? Was that like a champion version?
Yeah. Tyler had the Rise belt, and Joe won it off him at the end. Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, that was mad as well.
Just before we move on, what happened? Because obviously, as you mentioned, like I know Tyler Devlin like runs. I think he runs BWR, right? So what happened when you like parted ways with them? Was it like amicable, or was it just like you wanted to go separate way and start Kumite? Just with shows and then like not so much now.
It was originally I was there sort of to fill in for their full-time ring announcer, and then Devlin asked me to do.
Okay.
And he'd seen me doing over 18 shows for Fight Factory. So they used to do like quite a lot of over 18 stuff, and he'd seen me at that, and that's so he was like, "Oh, we've got this thing coming up." So the whole idea was to get me in to do the Rise thing, and then it was sort of then it sort of finish. As it goes, after the run with Rise, I had a few sort of like health issues, so I'm not really in a position to be touring or anything like that anymore, which is why. Which is why with Kumite, it's so obviously with those first two shows that we did, and then we had some issues with shows getting cancelled because it was
I think that was I debuted because I debuted for Rise Live Wrestling in Derby. I remember.
Because
people were calling box and shit.
That was it. So
was that your first like ring show that you did? Like we'll go back to the timeline. So you did like the 2 ring shows, and then was the next show a ring show?
Yeah, the next show we had like two other shows that were supposed to be no ring shows, and they got pulled. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They got pulled. And then during that period, I had a bit of a fucking relapse with some health issues and stuff. So Fletch took over, and he sorted out Vine's bar and stuff like that. And when I came back, everything was sort of like set and ready. He was like, "Well, if you're up for it, let's do it at Vine's. This is who's up for coming. We just won't advertise that it's us," because we with the posters and stuff. Originally, I was like, it has to have what it is on the poster, because I don't want people coming expecting it to be like the other local wrestling, which is just like academy wrestling, which is not the same thing as what we were going to do. And basically, that's what shot me in the foot, really, is because I was putting deathmatch over 18, no ring on the posters.
Yeah, and then they were seeing the word deathmatch, and then it was like getting flagged up by the council or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So we did live wrestling in Derby, which was basically. Yeah, it is, and that was because Joe was actually ill, wasn't he?
Joe, I got a message the day before, so I'll tell you this one. The day before, me and Tim were wrestling on. There was a show that Tim helped run called Northern Championship Wrestling, and just before this, it was the time that CCW did all the deathmatch stuff in the kids show with the lawnmowers and that's obviously what started the stir. So then the day before I debuted for you guys, me and Tim did a PG hardcore match, and we just took all them boys were in the crowd because it was like a local show. We just took this, we're going like family friendly hardcore done right, and I was deep throating them with hot dogs. We used tomato sauce.
I remember.
You can see on the video where I do it though. I'm ever the professional. I moved Tim's head off the carpet onto like the laminate floor where it's easy to walk, and then I sprayed with tomato sauce. I was like, what a pro. But yeah, it was the day after that. I remember. Did Joe get hurt or something on the same day on a different show? The night with the day.
Oh, it was a culmination of a load of matches. It was when Joe was just nailing it and like doing match. Yeah, and he just wasn't. Yeah, it was that. That's when he was literally going to like fly into America on Sunday afternoon, and then he'll be back like Friday afternoon, and be back Sunday night. So I think he he made himself really ill basically from going too far.
Yeah, it ran himself into the ground.
But as it turned
for you guys, because again, go on.
Well, as it turned out, it worked really well because we wanted to get you in anyway, so it was the perfect thing, and
Yeah,
it was just that thing because it was our first show, and we're bringing you in as a
yeah,
surprise, and it's always that fear that just like, oh
yeah.
my
That's
god,
what I was
what
gonna
if people?
say. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, yeah, it was a surprise, wasn't it? And I remember I'd just turned heel for the first time not long before, which made it so good. The surprise, and I remember when I come out, the whole
yeah,
crowd was like booing us the fuck, and I had this big cheesy grin on my face, and I was like, it's work, it's work. 'Cause I remember saying
yeah,
like, I don't want to do a death match here for live wrestling in Derby and all that, and I was like putting
yeah.
on headlock and shit and like doing all that bullshit, but it was so much fun. I really enjoyed that, but yeah. It worked out really well. I don't think I've missed a show since then. I think I've been on every show since then.
Pretty much, I think so. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I was trying to work it out, but nah, I can't think of as missing any shows then. So I was struggling to think of the exact timeline, but I know I wrestled Clint, and then that
I
fought
think
they were talked about. I was just trying to work out the build up to when he was introduced the open weight belt. Can you tell me about that? Because he's obviously had the Death Wolf belt. Where did the open weight belt come from, which is now like the world title? He
uh,
took that to America as well.
yeah. Well, that is. I mean, that was just something that we wanted to do because obviously we didn't want to. I didn't want to start. We started the company. Obviously, the Death Wolf belt. I made that myself.
Yeah,
So
it's like an old heavyweight belt, isn't it? And you know what? That belt is actually cool as fuck for like a replica belt, like spray up that. It looks cool as fuck. Like you could totally
yeah,
like
yeah,
redo that design as your own kind of thing. I like it.
yeah. It's literally just an old WC. It's a WCW like bootleg WCW belt that I just
Yeah, the
painted.
big gold belt.
Yeah, and got
Yeah, it
different
looks
bits
sick,
on it
man.
and
I really
stuff.
like it, mate.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
like the whole old school hardcore belt idea, isn't it? It's only get and it's literally like if you see it now, it is
yeah.
awful. It's it's
I think it's still got a
stinking.
place in my heart. I still
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
I still
yeah.
love it.
I mean it's a great belt. I mean, and that's the thing. It's just because um, going back to the live wrestling at Derby situation, the whole thing that we did was
Yeah,
that um, there was another company that were involved in Future Wrestling, which is where we get the ring. We do the ring hire with through Kingsley. Kingsley runs that. Carl
yeah. As I was
Kingsley.
gonna say, is that Kingsley's ring? Is that his company or just his ring?
It is his company. Yeah, yeah. So
Gotcha.
basically, the first half of that first show was basically a Future show as a cover for the second half of the
Yeah,
show, which was all death matches. So
yeah. Aye, that was the thing, wasn't it? Like the first half would always be like the team, and then like they put the first half me, and it'd probably be a hardcore match. But then the second half, it's like right, we're gonna get crazy now.
yeah, yeah. So that's what we did, and the people from the council and the police came. It was proper funny. It was like an '80s movie. The guy came in a suit and everything, and he stood at the
No
back.
way.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and it was
council
just.
wonder.
Yeah, but it was a real one.
I wish I'd have
But they
noticed
watched.
that. I would have kept
Yeah, and
going with it.
so yeah, and they saw that obviously what we were doing wasn't. We weren't really killing people. And then since then they sort of left us to it.
Yeah.
But everybody knew that it was us, obviously.
Oh yeah, totally. It was like all that like the Kumate logo was took off the poster. It was like same location, live wrestling in Derby, all the same. See, that's the thing, like, because obviously when you see certain people on a poster, it's like me, Joe, Clint, whoever else, Tomby, or Alton Thorne, Gonzalez. You're like, right, that's going to be some kind of hardcore deathmatch element there, without actually seeing it. So I guess like
Yeah.
I understand why you felt like you had to put deathmatch on the poster, but like in hindsight now with all the cop callers and that, people kind of know what they're getting in for.
Well, exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah.
when did that change? Like obviously now it's like billed as Kumite as it has been. So how many shows did you have to bill it as like live wrestling in Derby and like you had the worries with the cops? Was it just the one show,
Oh
or was it a couple?
no, it was only the couple because that was the first run that we did at Vines Bar, and I think that was only like
Yeah,
is it 3 shows? So it was only like three
yeah,
shows. And I think basically by the second one, I don't think we just weren't putting Kumite on the poster, but everything else was in.
yeah,
I think it was all in the graphic and stuff like that. But yeah, it was only a couple of shows. But then it was like I think originally with what we were doing, because it was no ring, and it was just like, if to somebody who doesn't know anything about, I mean, to people who know about wrestling, no ring death match looks insane. But to
Yeah,
someone who
because
knows
it looks like
some,
a Fight Club shit. Fight Club
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It's
So,
crazy.
so someone who doesn't know anything about wrestling at all, or is their idea of wrestling is fucking Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, or
Yeah.
fucking Big Daddy or whatever,
My
they
go-to
just think it
whenever I talk to anyone about wrestling, I go like, you know, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, and then the ten.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
what it's my go-to
So,
say.
so, so if they're looking up videos of like, you know, you guys glassing each other essentially on a dance floor in a pub or in
Yeah,
a venue, they're
Pop
like, what
World.
the fuck is this?
I love
So
that.
yeah, Pop World, and we
Yeah,
put it on YouTube. And again, it was just like they kept turning up to the venues that we were booking and showing them the videos that we put online. And I was like, but you
yeah,
can't. I know it's really irritating, but you can't pay for this shit. Do you know what I mean? We got to the point where
yeah.
we can't do anything in Nottingham at all. There's just no chance. Absolutely. As soon as we
Is that?
do,
Can you not do deathmatch there, or is that just because of other companies in the area? Or
um, I mean, there's nobody doing death matches there. I don't think there ever has been. But we tried to, and they were on us, and they still.
really?
It's a different thing, yeah. Whereas the council here,
Yeah,
we're sort of on good terms with them now, and I think that's through Vines
that's
Bar
good.
and through the guy that used to run Vines. He was really good with licensing, and we
Yeah,
just really been on top. Basically, made sure we did everything properly, so they had nothing to complain about, and that's the key.
nice.
And then that's kind of how we do everything.
Yeah. I just want to, before we move on to the next bit, I just want to quickly touch on, because Vines Bar was a great venue. It was one of the best venues I've wrestled in. That outdoor venues, cool as fuck. What happened with Vines Bar, and like why did I know it wasn't anything to do with you? It was more the owners of the bar, wasn't it? Like changing or something. Like what happened with that
um,
venue, and why did it stop?
well, it just sort of it just stopped. It just came out of the blue. I've got no
Yeah,
idea. I was actually out the day that they announced it. Was just after we. Well, I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago now, a year before last. And I'd actually gone for a drink, and then somebody said to me, "Oh, yeah, I've just heard about Vines Bar." And I was like, "What are you talking
yeah,
about?" And then so I don't even think the staff really knew what was going on.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure. It just closed, but it's not staying closed. So
It's
somebody,
is that an exclusive we've just got there?
no, no,
Kumite
no,
closing the Vines
no.
2026. You heard it here first. Tell all your friends. No, that's cool.
Well,
That though, it was the way to get the drone footage and all that with the open area, and that was insane. It's so good.
yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I've missed it this year because this is the first year that we haven't done it. Last year we did
Yeah, it's
both.
been the Hairy Dog's still a great venue, but it was nice to have that summertime little running outside. Or even I was gonna say wrestling in the sun. But I think me and Franco wrestled in the rain one time, but it was still great. I just love that visual. Like, where else are you gonna get that?
Yeah, it was amazing, and you can always tell. You could always tell it was us from the footage because of what it looked like,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
it used to blow like Americans, the American guys. It used to blow their
I
mind
was just
because
about
like
to
I
say
think that
that loads of Americans used to say like this. What the venue is this? What venue is this? It's like it's Kumite
yeah,
Stadium
because
Arena.
yeah,
Insane.
because you forget it looks like Coronation Street or something to those guys. Because I think
Yeah,
they live.
it does.
I think we live in either massive castles or Coronation Street. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just that
Totally.
it just looks so amazing. It looks so good in there. It's just it suited us down to the ground. It was a nice size. Some of the shows we
Yeah.
did, we had far too many people in there for some of them, but it was a nice size. You know, it didn't look
For too
it
many,
never.
like, in the crowd. Too many fans there.
Yeah, I
Too many
mean,
fan people.
sometimes we get like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just be too many in the crowd. But
Yeah.
it was
That's the thing
never
though,
it
like
was
the fuller the better.
yeah, but it was a good place. I fucking love it. I missed it, but
Yeah.
somebody else is taking it over. It apparently is taking it over.
Yeah. Nice one. So is that
So
like
I've
is that because obviously you are still doing shows at the Hairy Dog, like in between the Vines Bar shows, and then obviously did you just make the decision to move the Hairy Dog full time from then? Like they were cool with having you and stuff.
Yeah, well, it just made sense, really. Just made sense to just because just wanted to do last year we did. Well, we did 5 shows this year, but by the end of the year we would have done 5. But one of those was in Newcastle.
Yeah.
So four at the Hairy Dog. Last year we did. I can't remember.
What was the show that you didn't? Did you do a show in Newcastle?
Yeah, the one that you did in Newcastle.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was thinking of like a standalone Kumite show. Yeah.
Oh no! I'm just counting that.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, just counting that as So there was 4. So 4. Last year I think we did 5 as well. I think it was 3 at the Hairy Dog and 2 at Vines last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to do fewer shows, but then we ended up doing 5 anyway. So
yeah, is that like how many? So we'll talk about like going forward. So obviously, like it's been a good year for Kumite. We've had like this. We'll hype up this show on Sunday. We've got Mickey Knuckles making her debut. It's a big one to end the year. Anything you want to say on this last show of the year coming together? Hype it up. Me and Brett versus Jason Joshua and my son.
yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to mention how's it going to feel punching your own face.
I know, we had that. Like, we'll have to do like Spider-Man moment. Like,
definitely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The reason I'm sat on the floor is because there's far too many. I don't know if it's. Yeah, because there's.
Bless you.
Well, there's light tubes everywhere here.
Oh God, is it?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff. What I've enjoyed this year is we've managed to sort of space out the deathmatch stuff quite well.
I think it's good, like staggered, like
yeah, and it makes it feel more event, and it makes, especially at the last show when the main event was, we just wanted it to be so nuts, so everything else was still pretty hardcore, but nothing like the main event, and then the impact of that match then it just
that. Like even for like tournaments, I feel like the opening round should maybe be like no glass. Do you know what I mean? And like that shit. Same with like as you say, like as you run your shows, like stagger it, like get a little bit more hardcore to the main event, but the main event needs to be the one where it's all glass and boom, 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 like. But the thing I think staggering the card just make you get a lot more out of it. Do you know what I mean? By doing less in reality, but like emotion wise and allowing the people to see all the crazy shit at the end, it makes it look like a main event. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's all got to mean something, and obviously with this one being the last show, there's obviously a bit more deathmatch, or it's a bit more deathmatch orientated than it has been for the rest of the year. But that again has made people excited for it because they haven't seen it for we've got Mickey Knuckles and Blue She. Obviously they're going to be having a deathmatch. We've got Joe. Yeah, we've got Joe. This is Joe's
Big Joe Franco, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, Big Joe and Franco. And this is like Joe's only appearance this year, which again we spoke about this, and again it was making people want to see Joe again. And the matches, the stuff that he's done with Franco.
What was the deal there? Was Joe like available still for some of the earlier shows, or was he like double booked elsewhere and stuff, and it's just so happened that this is his only show, or did he just plan that like to build to like his big comeback?
I mean, I think it was a bit of both, really. He was working at the first, he was booked elsewhere at the first couple, but then it as it sort of worked itself out, it was like, well, we can use this as a draw, obviously, because Joe hasn't been here at all this year, so it'll be like a year since he's been pretty much bang on a year since he was last at Kumite, and he's not won a match since he lost the belt to Darko. So he's not won.
He's been on losing.
No, so he was on a 2-year losing streak. So really looking
away, and now he's back for this one against straight in at the deep end against Franco.
Yeah, man, and it's going to be brutal. Obviously, Mickey Knuckles, she's someone we've wanted over for a while, like basically since we started.
Yeah,
and so that opportunity presented itself. So I jumped on it basically. So it's going to be Mickey and Blue She in a death match. And again, Blue She doesn't have death matches all the time, so then this makes it more of an event for her.
And even when we wrestled each other, when Blue She won the belt of us, that wasn't even like the full-on death match. We had like the tubes at the end, but it was very right at the end towards the finish. So again, it's all like staggering it, and like now we get to see Blue She against Mickey Knuckles in a full-on death match, which is what the fans will want to see. Do you know what I mean? So I believe like not just this show, but like all throughout the year, you've staggered the match as well, and like not give them too much, but made them want more kind of thing. For this last show,
yeah,
I think it's been very well built and well done.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, we've always been really into that. We quite plan the stories. I mean, there's a couple of things that sort of changed on the fly this year.
Oh yeah, like injuries or people not being able to make the shows and shit. Like things have to change. But I do know that you always like plan the shows out. Like you pretty much have the full year booked from the start. Don't you?
Pretty much, yeah. Not to shatter the illusion, yeah, but that's kind of how we like to do it, because then we can sort of like.
Yeah.
I like the fact with Kumite, if you're into it, that there's sort of like a set of like 4 set of storylines going on per season, sort of thing that you can follow. Exactly. Or if you just want to come to the show, it's still just you can understand what's going on. You don't need,
but they're not too complicated to know what the fuck's going on here. Like they also get explained in the ring without having to with the promos or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And there's most of the people that are watching us now have been watching from the start, so they get all the little callbacks. Which is that's the thing that I love now. Is like now things that we planned like a year, 2 years ago are like happening now, and I love it when when you won the so we didn't go over the open weight title, did we? But when you won the open weight title, for example, nobody saw that coming. And
that was the way that happened. I felt so bad as well, like winning the belt. I went back and like apologized to everyone backstage because I literally they did this whole match like 15 guys, and then I just sneak in and dump Blue She over the top rope, and I'm like, it was great though, the heel reaction at the time.
Exactly,
it was great. But I went back to the stage after. I was like, sorry guys, like usually we've just had like a great match and like nearly killed yourselves. For me just to come in and steal all the glory at the end and get a photo with the belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
And we've got to make you look like, because we basically set you up as the main heel for the year, so we've got to make you look like a cock. We've got to make you look like a cock from the get-go.
Well.
Exactly.
I think it worked really well. I had that whole year as a heel, and then like obviously it's kind of naturally turned the other way now, like without a babyface turn. I just like when me and Brett won the tag belts, I feel like it's just like turned with back face kind of thing. But again, I'm enjoying the run with the tag belts too. I love tagging with Brett. Like, I love doing death matches and stuff. But 9 times out of 10, if you ask us what I want to do on a show and Brett's on the show, I'll be like, put me and Brett together. So I feel like more for something unique. Do you know what I mean? We're both fighters, which is unique to have one real fighter on a card, never mind 2. And then the fact that we're both together, it's just kind of fits the style of Kumite, like hard hitting. Do you know what I mean? It might not always be a death match, but you're always going to get like a hard hit fucking tag match or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the point, and it's just like the main thing that we try to do. I think everybody seems to enjoy working for us, and that's really important. I think that comes off, and it's like it's more of a. I mean, Kingsley used to say that we were the best and worst bookers that he'd ever worked for, because he'd come with us because he'd come with us with an idea, and I'd go, yeah. Or I say like 15 minutes. Everybody get your cool shit in. If you're okay with winning, that's all right. And he's like, but what do you want me to do? And it's like, well, just without sounding like a fucking hippie, just have fun. Do whatever you both want to do. We've got other things that we need to put over in storylines later.
Sometimes, you just make a match and it's like 2 guys just go out and do your thing, do you? Do you know what I mean? And that's all you need. Like if it's not story, but like I know like the Kingsley matches in it because his whole story was building to his first death match with Alton, wasn't it? And then obviously
and that match was amazing.
And again, it went over great. It was class, like your first death match, and then obviously against Alton, who's had a ton of death matches, and obviously them two have like known each other years, right? And kind of like trained together all.
But at the time it was like 10 years,
Yeah, so
they've been working out.
Moment. to like for
It was
Kingsley to end up having that death match in there.
yeah. I mean, it was again that was sort of something that we planned well in advance because it was they came to us with the idea of doing like matches across different places they were working, building up to this again, building up to the fact that they've got to have a death match because they hate each other. That is, they hate each other that much.
Yeah.
And the only way that they can settle it. So sorry, it's every time I start doing this, Fletch is texting me about wrestling now. So
it's all right, mate. I've got one last thing because we've been going like 40 minutes now. So one last thing just to tie up the interview. Obviously, we've had speaking of Fletch, we've seen the announcement. Obviously, he's moved to Ireland, right? And obviously, he's like parting ways with the company. I assume it's all on good terms and stuff. But just wondering, what is the future of Kumite going forward? Obviously, you're still gonna keep going. It's not done. Obviously, don't give us any information that you don't want to put online. But can you tell anything about the future of Kumite going into next year to finish off the interview?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. We're still going. Obviously there's no bad feeling between us whatsoever. We've known each other for a very, very long time. We'll still be doing stuff together. It's just we're not doing wrestling together at the minute.
Yeah. Nice.
He had the opportunity to move away, and he took it basically. And for the sake of staying here, for the sake of doing like 3 or 4 shows a year, just seemed mad.
Yeah.
So no hard feelings at all. The only thing that I don't think anyone will really notice outwardly. Obviously, Fletch does a lot. He does a lot of stuff backstage because it's basically me and him that do everything, but then there's a handful of other people that do stuff with us as well. So
it'd be stuff helping with the camera and the likes of that.
Yeah. So it'll be a matter of we're not replacing Fletch. It's just everybody else will be doing some different bits.
Just jig up the backroom staff you've got now, kind of just rejigging it and same.
Yeah. I mean,
nice.
As far as,
but obviously, I wanted to ask you, and that's why I wanted you to do the podcast with us because obviously, especially with the Ruthless thing coming up, and then this, and it's like, like people think the worst, or people make up like. Not that there's been any rumors, but people are often what's going to happen. So it's cool that you've come on to like clear all this up.
Yeah, no worries at all. I mean, it's been pretty funny because obviously we've known about this all year. He moved away. He actually moved away about 6 months ago, and then he put that post on Facebook, and I got a load of messages like going, "Oh my God, is everything all right?" It's like everything's fine.
I'm the worst. I'm a proper content creator these days. My mindset was like, "There's 2 interviews here." One with Fletch, and we'll do one with Fletch as well, like just something similar. Do you know what I mean in the future? But
that'd be wicked. Yeah,
it's a content. Yeah, I'm terrible. I was like, I hope you're all right. Like you could be like both terribly ill or something, and I'm like, please do an interview. Terrible.
But no, we still. I'm not going to be revealing what we're doing next year yet. Until
I don't even know.
No, nobody does. I don't think.
Don't come asking me. Anyone watching this wanting gossip? I don't even know. I just know everything that's being told on here.
I honestly, I don't think anybody knows, to be honest. But we're still doing something because
the best surprises are few and far between in wrestling these days.
I mean, that's how we like to do stuff as well. I'm not into announcements about announcements and shit like that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I hate that. Announcement tomorrow. Announcing about the announcement. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I know.
I always just like to wait. Yeah, I always like to wait until I know that something's definitely happening before we say that we're doing it, just in case. Because I've been bitten in the ass so many times with shit like that over the years. So we are
wrestling. I can imagine.
Yeah. So the show this weekend is actually our 19th show. So whatever we do next year, So so whatever we do next year first is Kumite 20, and it's actually the 5th anniversary, and it's also the 10th anniversary of me being involved in wrestling. So
nice. So the first one of the next year is going to be a big one. Off the bat.
Yeah, so we'd be daft not to do something for all of that, really. So something will be happening in some capacity next year, but as to what, I will tell you later.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm assuming I'll be there for all the shows and all the fun next year.
Of course.
One half of the tag team champions. It's like having the belt is like a recall booking in it. It's like a security. But I want to say thank you for joining me for this episode. It's flew by. That was on like 45 minutes. So I'll end the recording now, and I'll just have a big crack after me. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Everyone. Malachi, one last round of applause.
Cheers, man.